So a few years ago I found myself in a classroom full of teenagers that have an array of special needs, and one of these students was called Hemel, and Hemel has severe autism and he was also non-verbal at the time, which means that he doesn't use words to express himself and communicate. And Hemel was very big, very strong and very unpredictable. His teachers were quick to warn me that he has a habit of sitting on people. And this kind of confused me because I didn't understand how that could possibly happen. But soon enough I saw Hemel making his way across the classroom and then just suddenly dropping to the floor. And it started to make sense to me now why the students in his class were keeping their distance from him, and also why there was this sense of anxiety amongst the teachers when they were trying to engage with Hemel, because they just genuinely just never knew what he was going to do next. But my task while I was at the school was actually to photograph the students while they took part in a sensory workshop for a series of days. And with most of the children it was quite straightforward to do. They were really engaged, really enjoying the activities, so it was easy to get really nice pictures of them. Whereas with Hemel, he just didn't really seem to engage with the workshop. He would sit in the corner of the room and kind of just wait for the time to pass. But as the days went on, I noticed that Hemel would start taking trips to the props box. Again, still quite hard to photograph because he would just kind of go there, pick something up, put it back down, go sit back on his chair. But then one day I turned around and I saw Hemel, and he'd wrapped himself in this soft brown pretend fur, and he was holding onto a stick, and on the end of the stick there was this small purple glittery butterfly, and Hemel was just completely consumed by this butterfly. He was twiddling the stick, watching the butterfly spin around, holding onto the wings of the butterfly, completely oblivious to everything else going on in the room. He was just completely mesmerised by this butterfly. And I got a photo. And for me, this was just huge. Like the picture just had so much value to me, because until then, everybody was seeing Hemel and his spontaneity as something to be afraid of. But I felt like this picture showed Hemel to be, yes, spontaneous, but also really gentle and also really curious and creative. So for me, that was just such a privilege to witness and also capture for his peers, for his teachers, for his parents to see that these qualities that Hemel has are something to be proud of and something to shine a light on. So to this day, it's still one of my most favourite pictures that I've ever taken.